While I was making up the board behind me for Columbus's history, which ended up having way more trades in it than it should have, to the point where I had to omit a couple of actually pretty decent trades. The Seattle, they need a name. And that name's supposed to be coming soon. It's supposed to be before the end of 2019. So I'm voting for Kraken with what I'm wearing. This is my Cthulhu jersey, which I got from Geeky Jerseys, and a hat that doesn't match the color scheme at all, but it's the same idea, Miskatonic University, because I think Cthulhu works. And not only that, but the two-tone green is something completely different than anything we've seen in the National Hockey League. So hey, here's to the idea of having something different. Now, when you're hiring your first general manager, it's a smart idea to have a guy who knows the league. Ron Francis knows the league. And it's smart also to bring in a guy who knows something about being in a market that's not really known as a National Hockey League market. First, it was Hartford when he came in as a Whalers draft pick, and then Carolina, where of course he came in after the move. He wasn't a part of the Carolina Hurricanes at the time of the move, but he has some experience working with fans who may not know the game as well, and working in situations where he's sharing the game. Not only that, but when you look at what Carolina did this year with going to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in a decade, a lot of the pieces on that team that did that were pieces that were brought in by Francis. Don Waddell did a much better job than I had expected, than most people had expected when he was hired. He made some very smart moves, but some credit should go to Francis as well for having a lot of those pieces in place. So when Waddell took over, he had a pretty good starting point, and then he was able to maximize that. Now, for Francis, it's kind of a dream, isn't it? Being able to come in and you're on the ground floor. It's the first year for a team, and you're able to be a part of this and make the team in whatever image you want them to be. You want them to be a tough team to play against, a big strong team, physical team. You can do that in the expansion draft. You want to go with younger, more skilled, maybe smaller players. You can do that in the draft. You want to mix it up. You can do that too. And with Vegas, you look at the way that it was done by George McPhee. He actually had it all plotted out who was going to be his first, second, third, and fourth line, who his top six defenseman would be, and his starting and backup goaltender. He had all of that mapped out before the expansion draft. I would be very surprised if Francis doesn't do something similar. How that team is made up is going to be different. And of course, all these discussions about how, hey, GMs aren't going to be had again like they were by Vegas, so Seattle's not going to get beneficial treatment. Well, the good news is that Ron Francis coming in, he's well known. And honestly, a lot of the teams that you look at right now that would say, oh, we won't make any deals, once we're about 2 weeks out from the expansion draft and they're looking at their exposed list and they're realizing there's a couple of big names on there, deals are going to get made. They may not be of the same level, but if they don't make that same offer, Francis might go, oh, okay, but I'll take that guy then. Okay, well, you don't want to lose that guy. That's a shame, but I'm taking him. So rather than the way it worked with Vegas, which was, well, we won't necessarily take the best players available, but you guys are going to pay, Seattle can come in and go, you're going to give us the best players available. And when you look at the exposure rules, they're pretty strict. And the NHL is going to make sure that while Seattle is likely not going to be a Stanley Cup Finals straight out of the gate, they're not paying over $600 million for a team that's going to finish 32nd out of 32 teams. So Francis is coming in a pretty good situation. He knows how to work with a budget. He had to do that in Carolina. They weren't a team that went to the cap. I don't think Seattle's going to be going to the cap initially either, but we've seen what happened with Vegas. Who knows? If they get a good team out of the gate, they might just be spending more money than we might envision. Let me know how you guys feel about this hire. It's going to come out over the next couple of days. I would imagine it's supposed to be sometime before the end of the week. So let me know how you guys feel about this hire, how this works for Seattle, and more importantly, does Kraken work or is it going to be something else? So there you go. Seattle's going to officially have a general manager before they have a team name, and that team name hopefully comes soon, and the jerseys hopefully are available soon after that. Because otherwise, they're all going to be Chinese knockoffs because people are going to want Seattle jerseys as soon as the team name's revealed. But let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I've talked about here. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.